Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin for the win. We're back for another edition of Diablo 3. Today on the channel, we are taking a look at the Valor set armor for the Crusader class, which unfortunately has been nerfed significantly in Season 24 of Diablo 3, which might actually lower its usability in terms of the tier list. Alright, Aegis of Valor set. 2-piece bonus. This is exactly where it got nerfed. Attacking with Fist of the Heavens empowers you, allowing Heaven's Fury to deal 125% increased damage for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. It never used to be that, so they put a stack limit of 3, and that hurts significantly. 4-piece bonus, hitting with Fist of Heavens, returns 5 Wrath and reduces damage by 1% for 10 seconds, stacks up to 50 times. 6-piece bonus, increase the amount of damage that Fist of the Heavens and Heaven's Fury does. Alright, to help with this set, we're going to also use the Captain Crimson set here. Captain Crimson 2-piece, 6,000 life per second, reduces cooldown of all skills by 20%, reduces all resource costs by 20%. 3-piece, damage that is increased by your percentage of cooldown reduction, damage taken is reduced by your percentage of cost reduction. Fate of the Foe you're going to want to use, Heaven's Fury gains 2 additional rays and has its damage increased to 462%. Shield of Fury, each time an enemy takes damage from Heaven's Fury, it increases the damage they take from your Heaven's Fury by 28%. This effect stacks up to 10 times. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, Ring of Royal Grandeur, you could also swap that with the convention elements. Bracer of Fury, Heaven's Fury deals 393% increased damage to enemies that are blinded, immobilized, or stunned. Flavor of Time, you want to run this, and that's pretty much the full set. As for the skills, Slash, Electrify, Fist of the Heavens, Fissure, which is where all our damage now is going to come from. Shield Glare. We also want Akarat's Champion Prophet, Laws of Valor, Unstoppable Force, Heaven's Fury, Fires of Heaven. Alright, Heavenly Strength for the passive, Holy Cause, Long Arm of the Law, and Finery. Incanized Cube, Dark Light to power up Fist of the Heavens. Kasite's Court of Righteous to power up Fist of the Heavens as well. And then in Conventional Elements, you could swap that if you have a better Conventional Elements ring with the Ring of Royal Grandeur. They're both interchangeable with this particular build. Preferably, you probably Ring of Royal Grandeur in here. This is what the Paragon looks like. Here's what the followers should be running. Broken Crown, Flavor of Time, Nemesis Bracers. I would also recommend running Gold Skin because it's kind of helpful. Everything else is just kind of throwaway. For the purpose of this showcase, we will be doing a Greater Rift 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80. That way it will show you the damage output and how it's been tremendously nerfed from Torment 13 going all the way to Torment 16 plus difficulty. Like I said, that 2-piece set bonus rework hurts tremendously in terms of the stacks because you were able to do a lot more with it before. And you're actually a little less tanky even. Alright, when you get into the Greater Rift, what you're going to want to do is go Fist of the Heavens. That way, you can just get the 2-piece bonus to proc, as well as just getting extra amounts of damage from the 6-piece bonus. So really now, what ends up happening with this particular build is instead of relying on your Heaven's Fury to do damage, and to be the main source of damage for when you're taking out elite packs, you're going to have to rely heavily more on powering up the Fist of the Heavens, which is what this particular build that I've come up with functions at. On top of that, because you're not as tanky anymore because of, obviously, the 2-piece bonus, you are very susceptible to getting squashed. Now, normally what you would want to do before having to power up the Fist of Heaven so much to be able to do a lot of damage, is you would, instead of running the belt, actually run instead the Stone Gauntlets. But because you need the belt now to be able to do a lot of damage with Fist of the Heavens to mitigate the lack of damage that you're now getting with Heaven's Fury, you pretty much, that's what you've had to do. You've had to sacrifice being tankier to be able to do more damage to make up for the Heaven's Fury, which kind of hurts the armor significantly. Now, as you can see here, ooh, the Stalker caught me way off guard. That's a case in point of where you're not as tanky anymore also. So, you know, the biggest problem really with this armor is that the 2-piece hurts it. Is it enough to drop it down from S tier? That's debatable. Now, this is a non-fully optimized armor. That meaning I don't have every piece of the armor Ancient Legendary or Primal Ancient Legendary level. On top of that, I don't have gems fully leveled to level 100 in every piece. If you did, you could get significantly a bit more out of your damage output. But in the end run, I think this armor now is going to lose out to the Bombardment Crusader build because it is significantly slower now because of that 2-piece bonus that has been reworked, as opposed to Bombardment, which is super fast. So I actually would say that the Armor of Akan, Bombardment Crusader, is actually a better viable choice now than Valor Satyr. Valor Satyr is still good for those who prefer to zone their enemies from far away and who want to kind of channel their inner Zeus and just drop tons of thunderbolts of gods dropping from the sky and just being Zeus and everything of the sort. You know, it's unfortunate because now Heaven's Fury doesn't feel as powerful as it used to be, which is, I guess, kind of what the devs were going for in regards to this armor, because this armor was kind of an end-all to be off for quite a while, and they have been kind of hitting all the S-tier armors because they want people to experiment with different armors. So I think this is the way of Blizzard trying to get people motivated to play more Bombardment Crusader, which was not as prevalent as you would have thought in recent tier listings and as well as just leaderboard placement. Okay, so on the Rift Guardian, what you want to do is basically do a couple of Fist of Heaven, and then use your Heaven's Fury when it has 10 stacks to just unleash that beam. And usually you'll be able to one-shot most Rift Guardians that are at lower tier levels. As you get higher up, you're going to notice it's going to take a lot more Heaven's Fury to kill things, which is where this armor starts to lose a lot of favor with our armors that have better options now. It's sad. It's like it's fallen from grace, ironically, but it's still a good armor. You know, it's still a better choice. Okay, that was a clear time of 3 minutes second. 3 minutes and 6 seconds, greater of 60, tournament 13 set. Difficulty. Alright, same strategy before. You want to go Fist of the Heavens. Make sure you have your Akarat's Champion active. Make sure to activate your Laws of Valor. That way you can get a bit of more faster attacks going off, which is very important for the Fist of Heaven. Then if you run into any elite packs that look tanky or you just want to deal with them super quick, let off a Heaven's Fury, which is being powered up by the Fist of the Heavens and the 10 stacks, remember, from the bracers. That way you can do a significantly more damage that way. So again, you're really relying now on your Fist of the Heavens, just chaining your Fist of the Heavens together to create these electrical beams. If you've ever seen the movie Gremlins 2, where Billy at the end tricks all the gremlins by having the electric gremlin come out of the phone and just electrify a whole bunch of enemies. Yes, I'm bringing this reference into a Diablo III video. That's basically kind of the same principle that you're doing here. You're connecting all these electrified beams to deal a tremendous amount of damage to your enemies. The only problem is that you are very susceptible, because you no longer have access to stone gauntlets in your Kanai's Cube, to being one-shotted by certain projectiles, so you have to be careful with that. You have to definitely make sure you keep your Akarat's Champion active, and you have to just be cautious. Another problem with the set is that it is very easy to overextend and become over-aggro, and if you become over-aggro, you might walk into AoE effects like explosions, you know, those ice things that happen as well, laser beams, poisons, exploding mobs that shoot out the worms/hydra things. All these things are potentially a problem for you with the set. Case in point, also, if you get pulled into mobs with all these orbs, you can get put into a not very good situation. When it comes to the Valor Satyr set, I would actually say don't get rattled too much in regards to what if you take a death. You are kind of going to take a death every so often. You might not get as many 4-chance bonuses just based on the way the armor is. Again, you have to sacrifice a bit of your tankiness by not being able to use the stone gauntlets to be able to do more damage with your Fist of Heavens, because your Heaven's Fury doesn't do as much more damage thanks to the rework of the 2-piece bonus of this armor set. So a lot of different types of things are going on here that makes you having less damage output. So in terms of optimization, what would you want to do for this armor? Well, for starters, you're using Captain Crimson, right? So for Captain Crimson, you want to be able to do the most damage possible, so you would need cooldown reduction. So I would recommend anywhere you could get cooldown reduction 8.0%, put it on this armor. You are going to need it. Then from there, I recommend anywhere that you could get cost reduction on this armor, put it on it, because it's going to need that extra amount of damage reduction to mitigate what it has lost from 2-piece bonus. Definitely going to need that. Then from there, I would recommend anywhere that you can power up your Fist of the Heavens to 15%. definitely do so. Anywhere you can power up your Heaven's Fury to 15%, definitely do so, as this armor needs those boosts as well to perform effectively. Subsequently, I would also recommend, without sacrificing from any of the stats that I just mentioned, on your helm, I would recommend 6.0% crit hit chance. On your gloves, I would recommend these free stats. I would recommend crit hit chance 6.0%, crit hit damage 50%. I would definitely recommend a attack speed of at least 8.0%. If you can get a 7.0%, that's fine. If you get a 6.0% as well, and you got the other two stats, that's okay as well. It's just a matter of getting those free stats so you have more attack available to you. That was Greater 65 3 minute and 15 second clear time. Still very impressive, despite the fact I'm saying it's not as good as it used to be. I mean, you're really going to start to see it not shining as well as you get higher up. Higher up, I'm talking about like when you're getting into Greater Rift 130s, maybe even 120s, and if you're not fully optimized, and also obviously if you take an unnecessary death, sometimes like that. So definitely kind of no soul suit. Like again, because you can't use stone gauntlets because you needed to power up your Fist of the Heavens more, it hurts the build. It really does, because before you could kind of get away with not running stone gauntlets and using this particular belt, because you could always rely on the crutch of the two-piece bonus to kind of mitigate any problems that you would necessarily arise. But now, unfortunately, I've taken that away from us in terms of, you know, nice bonus. So, you know, I understand why they nerfed it, because this armor was really powerful, and it would have been dominating for, I think it's so far 4 or 5 seasons at this point. It was introduced, I believe, if I remember correctly, in season 21 of Diablo, I want to believe. Yeah, because it was the Valor set that came out, as well as the Mundunugu set. So, you know, Mundunugu got nerfed, Gears of Dreadland got nerfed, Masquerade of the Bardian Carnival got nerfed as well, the set, but not as significant compared to this one. So, it was a matter of time that all those new armors, after having quite a while of play, would start to see some nerf. I guess probably what's next is we'll probably see something to the Parents of Justice, if we do, in fact, get a Season 25 of Diablo III. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, because as we all know, Diablo II Resurrected is around the corner, comes out September 23rd. Diablo Season 24 of Diablo III should be kind of coming close or near its finality around that time. Let's see. We're going into the end August, September, October, probably towards the end of October, we should probably see the end of the season. So it's kind of will be around the corner right after Diablo 2's release. So it should be interesting, in theory, to see what, how Blizzard in particular is going to be handling development or further support of Diablo 3 in terms of season. You know, I have a feeling, because it kind of looks like it right now, just based on all the advertisements and everything, that Blizzard is going to move all their attention and try to have all their audience's attention diverted into Diablo 2 Resurrected. You know, there's still some questions in regards to how exactly Endgame is going to play out. If they're going to do something a little bit different from what was Endgame in the original Diablo 2. It seems like at this point it's going to have to be a wait-and-see approach. So that we don't really, you know what's exactly going to go on. If that's the case, probably, and there's no more seasons of Diablo, it's probably going to be the end of the game. I mean, we can't complain, because Diablo 3 has been around since 2012, and then we got the Eternal Collection expansion of it, everything included in that. What was it, like in 2016-ish, I want to say? Or 2017-ish? Which increased the livelihood of Diablo 3 for quite a while. So, you know, it's been out. In 2022, it would be 10 years that we've been with Diablo 3. Okay, that Rift Garden, what you wanted to do was do a whole bunch of Fist of Heavens and then use the Bracer's stacks to fire off the Heaven's Fury Beam, which usually will one-shot. Case in point, because we don't do as much damage as we used to. We take a little bit longer, so you have to show out 2 Heaven's Furies as opposed to 1. Which you usually would do, because you would just build up all these Fist of the Heaven stacks and then just release it all in one beam. You don't have that type of power anymore because of how the two-piece bonus got reworked. So it's very unfortunate. It takes away a lot of power is what I'm saying. Even though Greater Rift 70, Tournament 15 difficulty, 3 minutes and 21 second clear time. So in terms of the channel, what am I going to be doing? Well, I'm going to look at whether Blizzard is going to just support Diablo 2 or if it's going to continue to support Diablo 3. I'm also going to listen to my audience as to what they really want to see. If people still want Diablo 3 guides and for me to cover them, I may continue to do them if they're still seasonal. If not, and that's like after Season 24, that's the end of Diablo 3 in terms of seasons. What I might do is I might just go back and do one final overhaul video for all the armor sets, and then we may just like put, unfortunately, Diablo 3 to the pasture. My plan right now is if Blizzard continues to support both games, I'm gonna do Diablo 2 videos, and I'm also gonna do Diablo 3 videos. I'll probably do like one Diablo 3 video a week, and then I'll do like maybe two Diablo 2 videos a week. If I see more people are more interested in the Diablo 2 builds as opposed to Diablo 3, I might do more Diablo 2 builds and then spend a less focus on Diablo 3. It's a matter of really what the audience wants and what the shift in pattern and whether Blizzard's going to support Diablo 3 anymore or not. I don't think they're going to completely abandon it, but I think it's going to be hard really to expect that they're going to keep supporting seasonal journeys for this game when you have like Diablo 2 Resurrected, and you're going to want to move people over to the new game so you can make money, because remember, they don't charge for any of these seasonal journeys, so they're not making any extra money off of us. So getting us to upgrade and to move over or downgrade, whatever you want to consider it, to Diablo 2 Resurrected would be kind of a very smart business strategy. Again, the damage rotations for this armor are always going to be the same. Drop a whole bunch of Fist of Heavens. Activate your Akarat's Champion when you have moments to activate them. Use your Laws of Valor. Reserve your Heaven's Fury for very tanky mobs. I would say when you get to Crusader 75 and 80s, what you want to do with your particular armor is you want to hold your Heaven's Furies until you run into a lead pack, and then fire it off, and then reset the stacks, and then fire it off again if you have the opportunity. That's where Laws of Valor comes in, because you could just attack quicker, which means you could get your Fist of the Heaven stacks and the other stacks to activate much faster. So keep in mind, there's a reason for everything that's run in this armor, even from the skills and everything. The sword. I'm not wasting my Akarat's Champion, as you see now. I just clicked it because before there were a lot of mobs on the screen, and then remember the cooldown and everything. The sword, Fist of the Heavens, Heaven's Fury. You see that Heaven's Fury naturally before, with the way the armor used to work, would have one-shotted that enemy super fast, where it would have not had to actually attack it again with something else. Again, the two-piece bonus rework is what really takes away a lot of this armor's power. It's not bad, but it was way more powerful before, and it's a significant decrease in the damage output. Like, I got that Heaven's Fury off only because the chain of the Fist of the Heavens was still going off, and then we had the Bane Stricken. For Legendary Dems, you want to run Bane Stricken, Bane of the Trap, and Pain Enhancer here. Ooh. See, I got caught in an AoE effect there because there was the... Oh, got double caught in AoE there. That's something that doesn't happen naturally to me often. So you gotta be careful. Like I said, also, because now you can't run Stone Gauntlets because you gotta use the belt to power up the Fist of the Heavens to mitigate some of the damage output you lost. You are less tanky, so it does hurt. Again, that's also why it's very important to get resource cost reduction wherever possible, so you can take hits a little bit better. Case in point here, like, the other problem is, like, this armor's known to being super aggro, so now you actually can get one-shotted by a lot of things you weren't normally. You have to actually be careful, like, if you are a Necromancer in terms of how squishy you become. Okay, Fist of the Heavens. I'm going to use the Blinding Flash to proc not only Bane of the Trap, but also the bracers that I'm using, and then fire off the Heaven's Fury. So there we go. And that's how you do that. Alright. I'm going to level this gem up. I'm only using that for augmentations. It's not for any build. So then, you know, pretty much that's what it's going to be like on the channel for now. You know, another craziness that's happening with Blizzard, everything going on currently, you know. It's a really messy situation. I don't condone Blizzard's actions at any way whatsoever. That was a clear time of 4 minutes. We're going to do a Greater Rift 80. I'm going to show you how this does in Tournament 16 difficulty. You know, obviously the lawsuit's going on. I don't think anybody should be harassed, sexually harassed either for that matter. I don't think people should be bullied at the workplace. Their actions are definitely irreprehensible. I don't want to go on a limb and say that people should start boycotting games, because you have to remember the company, ultimately, this falls on the people who work at that workplace, and it also falls on management who allows that as well. And we don't know all the specifics as to which development teams this was for. To my understanding, it seems that it was a lot more on Overwatch, which I don't cover on this channel. I do enjoy Diablo 3, and I know a lot of people still enjoy my Diablo guides. So obviously, since this is a main focus of my channel, and it's been for a very long time, we're going to continue to cover Diablo content despite everything that's going on. It's really crazy. It's not a great time to be a content creator that does anything in regards to any sort of Blizzard game right now, because of everything. And like, you know, Blizzard does the irreprehensible stuff, and then us as content creators have to pay for their sins, basically, of what they did. You know, so one of the things I definitely should point out to my viewers and everybody watching and whatnot is that you have to remember to isolate situations. So Blizzard are the people that are at fault for what's been going on. People who play Blizzard games, people who make content for their channels that are, keep in mind, not hired by Blizzard. Most of us are not under Blizzard's payroll whatsoever, and we work independently, and, you know, just struggling to stay relevant and pay our bills and eat and everything of the sort. You know, most of us are just kind of doing what we've always been doing in our jobs and just covering stuff and interests that people have in gaming for specific games. So, like, remember not to displace your anger out on content creators that continue to make content for Blizzard, because remember, it's a really tough situation. But when it comes to, like, this whole Blizzard situation, like, a lot of content creators have been doing Blizzard content for years. People have been doing Overwatch for years. People have made livings over, like, Overwatch. People have made livings off of playing WoW, off of playing Diablo games in particular. A lot of probably your favorite Diablo 3 content creators besides yours truly, you know, all kind of do this thing, and we've been doing it quite a long time right now. I've been doing this Diablo 3 content on the channel for like almost 2 years. It will be next May. So it's been a very long time. So, you know, this is where we've established ourselves. So, you know, to ask us to stop making content for this because of what Blizzard did would be like asking us to stop having our channels and asking us to have our channels die. So that's basically kind of what I'm trying to get at with people who have redirected a lot of their hostilities and negativities towards people who continue to make Diablo 3 content and Overwatch content and whatever other Blizzard games that people play. You know, it's misdirected hostility. I'm totally in agreement with you. What they did is irreprehensible, and they deserve to be punished to the full extent of the law, but that's for a court to decide and to make the judgment for. You know, that's not me. I don't work for Blizzard. I don't get paid by Blizzard to make Diablo 3 content. You know, I'm not like a whisperer of any sort for Blizzard as a company, so I just need to clarify that because, you know, this whole situation, I've seen a lot of fellow content creators that are making Diablo content-related stuff and everything, getting a lot of hostility towards them because they are just doing what they've always done on their channel, and still, you know, like, it's not as simple. If you don't make content, and if you've never done YouTube or you've never done Twitch in your life, you'll probably think that it's so simple as, well, oh, you just stop making content because that company has done horrible things. YouTube and Twitch don't work like that, people. You know what? You get established for a specific game, and you build an audience for that specific game. And that audience expects you to put out content for that particular game. Now, sometimes if you're lucky with a variety of content, which I try to do on this channel, you might get other audiences from other games, and it might take off, and so on and so forth. I had kind of success with that with Monster Hunter for a while until the devs kind of stopped supporting their own game, and people got tired of Monster Hunter Rise. You know, same thing with Wrestling Empire. You know what? You wait for the content to drop and stuff. You know, with Diablo 3, there's a lot of stuff you can cover, and there's a lot of interest there, which is why I basically continue to do it. And people like my guides, and people like the content, and there's always new people who come into Diablo 3. And you have to remember, not everybody's going to be on the internet reading newspapers, and will probably even know any of the controversy that I'm talking about even right now in regards to all this. So again, like, I'm just going to tell you guys, be very kind to your content creators or fellow content creators or content creators that are still doing Blizzard content, because they are trying to keep their channels still alive, because that's what they've made their content centered around. They are not the enemies. They are just putting out information and trying to create content and doing their jobs. Most of them don't work for Blizzard. Keep your hostilities towards the appropriate people and don't displace it. That's pretty much my PSA in regards to everything that's been going on with Blizzard, because I've gotten, like, hit up on Twitter, like, wait, you're still doing Diablo content, but didn't you hear everything of the sort? Yeah, asking me to stop Diablo 3 content on this channel is basically like telling me, we want your channel to be shut down, and we don't want you to have a channel anymore. And I think that's very unfair of people to tell me that, when it's like, I don't work for Blizzard, I'm not a dev and anything of the sort. And, regardless of everything, I enjoy playing Diablo 3, and I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy interacting with my great community that we have here. So it's a separate issue. Deal with them. That's my message. Alright, Greater Rift 80, 4 minutes and 45 second clear time. Again, it's not bad. I'm making it sound like 4 minutes is bad and that the nerf makes it so that you can't even clear Greater Rift 60. I'm just saying, as you get higher up in the Greater Rifts, as you're starting to go Greater Rift 130, trying to push 135, maybe even 150, that lack of that 2-piece bonus, the way it works now, is going to be significant, where I don't think you're going to be able to solo Greater Rift 150s anymore. I think you're going to have to get a group of buddies, and I'd say you lose a lot of your speed in terms of clear time and leaderboard placement. I think the better option would be to go with the Armor of a Khan if you're trying to get high leaderboard placement for Season 24 of Diablo 3 as a Crusader. So I would be like, I tell you, Seeker of Light, you use it to get, obviously, it's your star set, and you wait till you get the Armor of a Khan pieces and the Invoker pieces you need, and Captain Crimson, you go with that build. If you can't get your hands on that because it's taking a lot of time to get the parts to drop, what you can do is then I would say recommend Valor Satyr, because it's slightly easier, but FFL is hard to drop. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's Diablo 3 video. As always, a like is greatly appreciated on this video, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider doing so, as it helps the channel grow, and I will see you for the next Diablo 3 video. Till next time.